here is 145, right? But what I did, that's the same number I got when I added these two interior angles. In fact, they are remote interior angles. In fact, hey, wait a second, we know that, don't we? We know that this exterior, the measure of this exterior angle is equal to the sum of these remote interior angles. So, boy, I could have got that real easy just by saying 70 plus 75 equals 145. So now I know the measure of this exterior angle. Or what I could do is take this x, which is 75, plug that into this expression, and that's what they did down here. I actually did it the hard way, and I did it the hardest way. But they plugged in 75 in here for x, and they get 145. So lots of different ways of finding the measure of that angle. Just make sure, don't make the same mistake I did. Make sure that you are looking for the correct angle. Okay, so you are ready now for number 3. And they're asking for, find the measure of angle 1. So you want to find this guy on the inside. That's what I was trying to find. This is a different problem. You have to set it up, use different expressions, but it's set up in the very similar way. Okay, so I'll let you figure out how to do that. Just pause the video or even back up the video and play it again for this part, this explanation. Number 4, find the measure of each interior angle of triangle ABC, where the measure of angle A is x, the measure of angle B is 2x, and the measure of angle C is 3x. Hey, where's the diagram? There is no diagram. You have to create your own diagram. And I am such a gracious teacher, wanting to help you so much, that I even drew a triangle for you. And you're thinking, oh, that was easy, I could have done that myself. Well, you're right. You could have done it yourself. And how did I know to draw it this way? I didn't. I just drew a triangle. That's all you have to do. Draw a triangle, ABC, and then label the measure of each of these angles. So here's angle A, I label it as x. Here's angle B, you label that angle. We always, the measure of an angle is on the inside of the angle. We always put that indicator on the inside of the angle. So you put the 2x right there, and you put the 3x right there, and then you figure out how to solve for x, and it says find the measure of each, right? So you solve for x, and then solve for, and then you tell me what the measure of angle A equals, and the measure of angle B equals, and the measure of angle C equals, right? You do that for me. You will need to create an equation. That's the easiest way to do it, is to say, remember, the measure of this angle, A, plus the measure of, here it is up here, plus the measure of angle B, plus the measure of angle C equals 180. So that's your equation that you want to use for solving for x, and then plugging it into each of these expressions. Boy, 19 minutes. I wanted to make it shorter. Almost done here, so real quick. Let's look at, what are we looking at? Exercise, or example number 4. Example number 4. Here we have a right triangle, and as you know, the sum of the measure of the interior angles of any triangle is 180 degrees. Since one of the angles is 90 degrees, 180 minus 90 gives you 90 degrees. So there's 90 degrees between these two angles. So in order to solve for x, what we do, all that we have to do is say x plus 2x equals 90. I mean, you could have said x plus 2x plus 90 equals 90 plus 90, right? You could have said that because the sum of the interior angles is 180 degrees. But it's easier to just say, to know that when you have a right triangle, these other two acute angles are going to be complementary. So add them together, set them equal to 90. There you go. You can do that for this, for number 5. Should be pretty simple to set up that equation, put it over here to the left, and solve that for x, and then find the measures of each of these angles. And then lastly, number 6 here, you don't have enough information in what's written here. Just go and cross out in example 4. And so here's the diagram that you need to do number 6. and it's similar to what we just did. You want to solve for x. Solve for x here in the same way that you just did for number 5, but then find the measure of this angle, this exterior angle out here. And you remember that these two angles are adjacent, they're also a linear pair, therefore they're supplementary, therefore the sum of these two guys is going to equal 180 degrees. So you should be able to solve for x now. So go ahead and do that, and hope that was helpful to you, and look forward to seeing you in class.